As an artist, New Year's is a time for me to create new art goals that either help me improve as an artist or open up a chapter in making money as a creative. It's super exciting to think of all the things that I could potentially accomplish, but then that sneaky little bully of a voice inside my head might pop up and say, you can't do that for whatever reason, and that's why I'd like to talk to you guys about imposter syndrome today. Later on, I'll also be talking about this character that I'm drawing and some art goals that I have for this year, but I thought I'd start off with the topic of imposter syndrome because that can be a hurdle in accomplishing these art goals. As artists, we might come up with goals such as getting our art in an art gallery, opening an online shop, or even just starting to post your work on social media, starting to practice art if you've never started yet. Wherever you are in your journey, it can be really nerve-wracking to go outside your comfort zone, do something you've never done before. It's really common among artists to feel imposter syndrome. You know, that feeling that you don't actually know what you're doing or that you're not qualified to be doing what you're doing or giving the advice that you're giving or however it manifests inside of us. A lot of times we're a lot harder on ourselves and we have this vision of where we want our art to be, the skill level we want to be at, the style we want to have, and we lose sight of how far it's taken us to get to this point, or we lose sight of our actual skill level, our actual knowledge. So yeah, it's really easy to feel like you're not an artist like other people are artists, or you're not a real artist or anything like that. Personally, I've definitely embraced the if you make art, you're an artist, and I definitely encourage all of you to embrace that because yeah, if you make your art, you're an artist. You are a real artist. If you needed a reminder of that, there you go. Also, try to remember that even your favorite artist that has 100,000 subscribers or 100,000 followers on Instagram and they've worked with big brands, even that artist most likely struggles with imposter syndrome. So you're not alone. We are all in this together. But I wanted to kind of talk to you about how I push through that, or some ways I hope to push through it in the future if I have not already. So one of the ways that I try to push through imposter syndrome is by tackling certain things in small doses. If there's something that I want to try, but I'm afraid that it's not going to end well, that I don't know what I'm doing, then I try to start small and then build up from there. An example of this for me would be starting a YouTube channel. I honestly don't remember what my headspace was when I was starting a channel. I'm pretty sure I was just like, hey, other people are doing this and it's a way to build a community, and if I got monetized, I could start making an income from my art. It was the year 2020, so we all had a lot of time on our hands, and I was just feeling extra brave that year because I had nothing else going on. So why not try the things that you wanted to try, the things that you never thought you would try? And with that, I did start pretty small. When I was starting, I put out a couple of Procreate speed paints, the speed paints that Procreate automatically records while you're drawing. Put those on my channel. You can go all the way back to my first videos and you'll see, I think the first one or two are those speed paints, and then there's a Photoshop speed paint, so I tried to branch out a little bit, but they didn't have any audio, they didn't have my face in it or anything. And then I worked my way up to doing videos like this one where I'm drawing with, and you can see my hand, and then eventually I worked up to adding voiceovers to those videos. And then as I went on, it became another artistic outlet, so I wanted to keep improving. I wanted to go outside my comfort zone, and it was a lot easier to do that because I took it one step at a time. Even now, sometimes it feels unreal to me that I make YouTube videos. I think things like, I'm not an internet personality. I'm not the best at being entertaining or the most skilled person to be teaching things. I'm not qualified to give advice because I'm still learning. And that's definitely partially imposter syndrome, or 100% imposter syndrome. I don't know. It makes me extra cautious about the kind of videos I put out, because I haven't made a tutorial or anything yet, because I don't know that I'm good at teaching people how to do stuff, or if I'm even good at doing the stuff that I'm teaching. I do plan on putting out a tutorial-like video on how I draw hair, especially things like twists and dreads like I'm doing in this video. I've been doing that a lot, and I figured, why not show people how I do it? And that's probably gonna be how I word it too, that this is my way of doing it, because there are people who will be like, hey, this isn't how to do it, or there's a better way to do this, or whatever. So my point is, I'm still gonna do it because I don't want the fear of not being good at something, or the fear of not doing something perfectly, to stop me from accomplishing my goals and doing things that I want to do. Honestly, when I was starting my YouTube channel, I made videos that I definitely I don't know. I was not the most skilled when I started. I was in pretty much the beginning of my art journey. And so I want her confidence. Even though I was a little bit nervous about certain things back then, I definitely had I took a lot more risks back then. Another thing that has helped me is having a support system. So having people who tell you, hey, you are good at this. People to snap you out of your self-doubt. In school, that might be your professors. It might be your fellow classmates. It might be friends. It might be family. A lot of times I will get all up in my head and say, I'm terrible at this. So having a support system is so helpful. With that being said, there are sometimes haters. It's always great to get constructive feedback. If you want constructive feedback and you ask for it, awesome. But I do want you to be aware that not everybody who gives you comments on your work that are negative are doing it in your best interest. Obviously, there's a difference between constructive feedback and hate comments. I'm not currently a huge artist on the internet, so I haven't gotten a ton of hate comments, but I have been told my art is ugly and all kinds of things. So just keep in mind that not everybody has your best interest in heart, that you don't have to take those comments to heart. They're not necessarily, that's their opinion. If it's genuinely their opinion, that's their opinion. But I bet you there are a lot of people out there who want to see your work, and maybe they want to buy your work. So don't let that stop you from trying to reach your goals. There are definitely people out there that just like to troll on the internet, especially, and even sometimes in our real life, there are people who are not encouraging, or they might not think that being an artist is a real career, or that being in any kind of art field is a career. There are a lot of art careers out there, whether it is a concept artist, a motion designer, a graphic designer, a freelancer, an internet artist. I'm sure you know there's a lot of people making art by doing a lot of community building on the internet, and they make full-time livings with that. Those people don't know everything. They're not the only person whose opinion matters. Look and see if there are other people who are encouraging you, and keep going. Like that's the only way that you can improve. It's the only way that you can get where you want to get, is just keep going. It might not happen overnight. I started my channel 4 years ago, and I'm just now reaching 1,000 subscribers. So it might take you a while to reach that goal. It might not take you a year like you would want or something, but the more you do it, the more you improve. And you might find out that you don't even like it, or you might find out that you love it. So I really encourage you to follow those dreams. And with that said, that's my last advice. Just do the thing, as Varric from The Legend of Korra would say. I just watched that show last month, I think. So it's very much on my mind. But anyway, yeah, do the thing, do it. Keep in mind your mental health. If it's taking a toll on your mental health, definitely prioritize that. But if it's something that you can at least try, you never know. There are definitely things that I almost didn't try, and after trying it, it ended up great. It changed everything for me. So if I gave into my imposter syndrome saying I'm not good enough, that I am not ready, that I'll mess it up, I never would have seen what I was capable of. If I never started posting my art on the internet, I would still just be making random paintings every 5 years. With no desire to get any better at it. Because I exposed myself to this world of online artists and YouTubers, I've grown so much. And so, while another topic I could talk about is the interesting relationship between posting your work online and how healthy or unhealthy that may be for me. Because the only time I draw for myself just to do it is in my sketchbooks. I mean, nothing I draw is something I don't want to draw. I have a fun time doing it, but there's always a motivation. It's like, oh, I need to post this on Instagram, or I need to make a YouTube video, so I need to make something new. So my artistry and my social media life are very connected right now, and they always have, like, that's how it started, so I don't know how to not be connected to it in that way. That's another subject I can talk about in another video. I think I have a lot to say about that. But take the plunge. Try it. If you don't like it, you can always stop doing it. Whatever the goal is. You know those sayings that you hear in the movies. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. I'm giving this advice to myself also. There's definitely times where I let imposter syndrome and fear and doubt overtake me, and I just play things safe. There are goals that I have this year that I have a feeling will be very difficult for me to get over in some ways, because they are me trying something completely new. I'm not going to put too much pressure on myself to complete these goals, but I want to give it an honest effort. With that being said, I will list the art goals that I have this year. So goal number 1 is that I want to finish between 2 and 4 sketchbooks this year. I usually only complete 1 sketchbook a year, and it's not intentional. I intend to do more, but I always just let it fall by the wayside. So this year, at least 2, and ideally 4. I've already started one last year that I am maybe 1/3 of the way in. And even if I'm just doodling in it, I want to just keep it going, you know? My next goal I have, which is probably my biggest goal, is that I want to begin monetizing my art. So with this one, I am starting a little bit smaller. I want to open up an imprint shop. Eventually, I want to open up a shop where I'm the one sending the prints, and I'll probably first, if I did that, I would order them from somewhere like Cat Print or something. If I did stickers, maybe Sticker App. That is something that I still have a little bit of imposter syndrome about, because I don't know how many people would buy my art, and then on top of that, I'm afraid that I'm going to mess up the mailing process, that I'm going to somehow do something wrong and their prints are going to get lost. And so it's just a little bit of nerves in that department. So I figured opening up an imprint shop first, where I'm not the one handling that, I guess. And I can still I still have to figure out how to make sure the prints are high quality when I'm submitting them and everything. But yeah, I want to give that a go. And then I also want to monetize my YouTube channel. So when I was originally doing this voiceover, I had like 950 subscribers, I think, but today I actually reached 1,000 subscribers, so thank you so much. I'm halfway there in the monetization requirements. I just need the watch hours. So I'll be working on making more YouTube videos, and I'm gonna try to make them a little bit higher quality, a little bit more engaging and valuable to you guys. If you ever have a video that you want to see me make, let me know. I'm always down for suggestions, especially when I get in a rut and I don't know what to do. So yeah, my next goal is at some point in the year, I want to dedicate some time to learning gouache, especially portraits. I think I'm going to do a little bit more landscapes. I actually feel okay with my landscape abilities. I'm not the best every single time, but it's super relaxing and it's not as high pressure. But portraits, my oh my, every time I try to do a gouache portrait, whether it's acrylic gouache or regular gouache, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what style I want to be doing. So eventually I want to dedicate some time to figuring that out and practicing that, because, you know, that's all it's going to take is some practice and getting used to the process. The next goal I have is to work on some fun motion design projects. So for those of you who don't know, I went to school for graphic design and motion design, and I graduated last year in 2023 with my degrees, and so I'm trying to get into the field. I am unsure whether I want to venture into doing some freelance projects. I don't even know where to start with that. I'm also looking into internships and full-time work, so either way, I'd like to work on personal projects to develop my skills a little bit more, to show off those skills, or if it's a client project, of course, that would be great. I would like to update my demo reel sometime later this year, either in the summer or early fall, but I would like to add a bunch of new stuff to it, of course. I have a couple things that I could add to it, but I want to add even more, make it really fun, and make it represent the kind of work I enjoy doing. I'm considering taking a class from School of Motion. If you're aware of that they teach motion design to beginners as well as seasoned professionals. They have a bunch of different kinds of classes to take, and I just find taking classes helps push me to learn more. So we'll see. I mean, it's kind of expensive. A personal goal of mine is to save money. I'm already failing. This voiceover is all over the place. It's currently February 20th as I'm saying this part. I am re-recording this because my goal was really specific about the first 3 months getting some projects done, but I figured I would broaden it a little bit to what I want to get done throughout the year with motion design. It's taken me like 2 months to finish this video, which we will talk about in a different video. My point is, I want to create more motion design stuff, maybe even animate some more of my characters. I experimented with that last year, and that was really fun. I definitely want to mix in my art skills with my animation skills somehow. And then my last one relates to this video. I want to create at least one original character with a more fleshed out story and personality. I'm not someone who really creates characters with a purpose. I kind of just look at my Pinterest boards, see some references I like, put them together. I'm usually inspired by some of the things I like, so like supernatural creatures and fantasy and fun colors, fun themes. I love doing prompt lists, but I am not really somebody who gives them personality or anything. And this video, I was thinking a little bit more about the story behind this character. So it's not fleshed out by any means. I wouldn't call this character completing this goal because it's still very vague. But when I was creating her, I was thinking that she was somebody who is very serene and peaceful. I was thinking that she's a powerful fantasy species of some sort. I think I'm going to go a little bit more in depth, see how other people create their characters, their process of doing so. I do technically have one named original character, and her name is Amethyst, and she's a witch. I have not drawn her since the first time I drew her for my Draw This in Your Style challenge that I did a couple years ago, but I'm counting her as an original character that I have because, I don't know, I named her. I can't even remember the personality that I was thinking for her. I think she was a witch who was nice and liked reading. Very, very generic, I guess. I want to go more in depth, so that's a goal of mine for this year, and that is the last goal that I have. Obviously, things might come up throughout the year. I might discover things that I want to do, and some of these goals might not be a priority of mine as the year goes on, but I wanted to give myself something to work on, something to look forward to. But yeah, those are all of my goals for 2024. I'm gonna take my time, take it easy a little bit. I've already hit an art block. I felt like I was on such a roll in the beginning of December when it came to creating videos. I was coming up with fun ideas, and even one of my ideas that I came up with did pretty well on here. And so I was excited to do more, but then I got sick in December. And so December, like late December, was a flop. It was also the holidays, so of course everybody gets kind of busy, and it's fine to take a little break for the holidays. I might have made this drawing in the beginning of January. I know I was working on the video in the beginning of January, but yeah, February has just been an experience. It's been very lacking in the art department. And weirdly, like, I feel like February is usually a good month for me. I saw last year I created a lot in February, and it's my birthday month, but overall, the vibes are off, and I just have not felt motivated to create any art whatsoever. But I hope that after I get this video done, I can focus on just doing art. It might not be all on social media, but I definitely want to work my way back up to making videos more consistently. With that being said, that's all I have for you today. I hope that you have a great year. I hope that you're able to accomplish your goals. Let me know if you have any goals that you're currently working on. I hope that you're able to push through any imposter syndrome that comes up, and wishing you all the best. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.